We've got to stop acting like liberals have acted for all these years as delicate flowers.
When did the right become such f***ing pussies? When?
Has moved beyond their desire to have everything be Anglo-Saxon and white. I mean, literally.
Give me the lyrics that smells like Teen Spirit. Right? You can't. Right? Nobody understands Nirvana, but they like it because it's rock music, right?
They could have had Lady Gaga sing something.
She's singing in English. She's singing in English.
Listen, here's the truth.
Fairly performative. We're talking about a league that is owned by 32 different white men, a league that will not hire black coaches, a league that is consistently ensconced in white supremacy. Coaches were hired this cycle. Do you know how many of them were black? Absolutely zero. Do you know how many of them were black that were seriously considered for a position? One, Shieldhouse. That's not okay.
Hello, everybody. Guys, we got him back out of the pond. The human platypus is back on the panel, along with evil Mr. Clean. Let's get into this segment, and we'll talk about it.
MAGA become the left-wing snowflakes that they've been railing against for years. Well, Jon Stewart thinks so.
When did the right become such f***ing pussies? When? Remember what you hated about liberals? Oh, perpetually offended, safe spaces, censoring free speech, culture of victimhood. Remind you of anyone? These people who control every branch of government are so triggered by someone singing in Spanish for 20 minutes, they need to create their own safe space alternative halftime show where Trad Bunny over here is singing songs about how he can't even enjoy sitting in a truck and drinking beer because he knows that somewhere out there there's a trans person. It's actually f***ing pathetic. The gap between the power you all wield and the victimhood you all claim is the real offense.
Pete, what do you think?
I occasionally give a speech that I have titled "Safe Spaces Are for Liberals." And I give this to
Platypus, you look like you were raised in nothing but safe places. Pudgy Wudgy, cut it out.
Conservative audiences for the very reason that Jon Stewart was mocking my conservative friends, and that is far too many of them defiantly shy away from discomfort when we need to be more comfortable playing away games. We need to go to the places where people don't want us to be, where we are unwelcome, because that is how Republicans and conservatives win. Politics is about addition. It's not about subtraction. But too far on my side of the political equation, Republicans like to subtract in the name of purity, and we lose the narrative. We lose the conversation when we do that. It's not a winning mindset at all. So I hear what he's saying, and I agree with what he's saying. We've got to stop acting like liberals have acted for all these years as delicate flowers and stand up and be proud of what we believe in.
But isn't this whole backlash culture or cultural backlash really about a lot of people on the right being deeply uncomfortable with the fact that the culture has moved beyond their desire to have everything be Anglo-Saxon and white? I mean, literally this week they had a self-described white nationalist on Capitol Hill talking about the demise of white culture and how terrible that was for America. A lot of this is just an unwillingness to just say, hey, we didn't win this one, sorry.
And the diversity that the party says it wants, it spits in the face of those people. I'm watching Megyn Kelly lose her mind over people speaking Spanish when it was Latinos who helped in certain states to bring Donald Trump over the finish line, right? So you can't have it both ways. You can't say you're a party that wants to welcome and you want to bring new generations and new people in. You're looking out for the African American, and then you're tearing down Black history exhibits. You're, losing your mind when Bad Bunny speaks in Spanish. So that's one place where you and I actually agree that when they could be adding, they're excluding and saying assimilate, right? This is what a true American is, and they're losing the rest of America.
Because I'm just looking at the list.
Shut up, Arthur. And it's not about purity. He used a different word there. It's about bigotry. That's how you guys are subtracting votes or whatever the hell he said. Platypus says we need to stand up for what we believe in. You guys do. You show the world how bigoted you are every single day. This channel was built off your bigotry. The difference is that the crying that the right-wingers do is about the dumbest shit ever and always centered around bigotry, one way or another. These idiots were crying for an entire year or something like that, maybe even longer, because they put a trans woman on a Budweiser ad. Kid Rock shot up a bunch of beer cans because of it. This idiot just whining and crying. Guys, they cried a few months ago. Remember when they removed the dude from the Cracker Barrel logo? Because they see that as anti-white. Removing the dude from the logo. They were crying about slavery exhibits being in museums. Because of course, what did they call that? Yep, anti-white. Of course, everything is, right? Because just showing the history of what has been done in this country is somehow anti-white. Hey, maybe don't enslave people next time, pendejos. Just some advice. Guys, they're still crying about this damn Super Bowl and having Bad Bunny as the performer. Oh, dear Lord, it was in Spanish. The travesty. How dare they? It's anti-white. Guys, there's a lot, not most, but there's a lot of music that's hard to understand. Who cares? If it sounds good to your ears, who cares? And what did Megyn Kelly say about this? DJ Poppy, hit that track.
Supposed to be a unifying event for the country, not for the Latinos, not for one small group, but for the country. The two that you have right here is why you in Great Britain have lost your culture. You ceded your culture to a bunch of radical Muslims who came in and took over, and now it's gone. We're not allowing that here. Whether it's Hispanic, whether it's Muslim, it's not happening in the United States of America.
There was no real reason for me to show that clip, other than I really want to show how stupid she looks as much as possible.
Of the acts of the Super Bowl. Now you're talking to me. I like the ones where it was the college band. It was a tribute to Duke Ellington one year. I'm not joking. It's a tribute to Louis Armstrong.
That's not what I remember.
But it's the truth. That's
I know. I mean,
Why you tear down?
So the very first individual performer, because it was mostly college bands, was Michael Jackson. But if you look at the list of recent history, it's almost all people of color. It's Beyonce. It's J-Lo.
What's wrong with that?
It's
Shakira, Rihanna. I mean, you name it.
I don't remember there wasn't an outrage. I think the Bad Bunny thing had to do with the language more than anything else.
Well, I think it also had to do with the fact that everything's been politicized
too.
I mean, I think that's.
I remember some outrage last year with Kendrick, but in any event, I think that the language thing is a red herring, right? Because if we had put Nirvana up there, right? If we had put Nirvana, if we had resurrected Kurt Cobain and put Nirvana out there, all American Nirvana out there, do you think people would have understood the words? They wouldn't have. You're my age. Give me the lyrics that smells like Teen Spirit. Right? You can't. Right? Nobody understands Nirvana, but they like it because it's rock music, right? This is.
I found it hard. It's hard to find. Oh well, whatever. Never mind. Hello. How, guys? You knew Bobby had to do it. I love Nirvana, but he's right. You can't understand a damn thing in that song. Still good. You see how it can still be good? Not even understand what they're saying.
Same thing. So the language is a feint. It's a red herring to attack.
But there was such an easy way out of all of this. They could have had Lady Gaga sing something.
She's saying in English. She's saying in English.
Listen, here's the truth, Abby. At the halftime show, 4-year-old Ariana decided, "Daddy, I got to go poops," and I was in the bathroom, so I didn't see much of it.
You know what? It happens to the best of us.
I'm happy for Bad Bunny because he got my kids excited to go to school and learn more Spanish, and that's all you're looking for.
That's a win. Right? So, Ellie, I'm going to read to you something from someone that I know you don't like, but you might agree with him. He says, the problem with the annual conservative outrage cycle over the Super Bowl halftime show is that it has no impact on the NFL and makes conservatives look weak and left behind. Kid Rock does not change this calculus. He reinforces it. The ghettoization of conservative culture. I'm a right-winger. I love country music, but come on, Kid Rock did not mog Bad Bunny. This wasn't a stunning culture war victory. Advertisers are not going to flock away from the Super Bowl. Conservatives have started lying to themselves and to their audiences.
Yeah, I'll go that guy, whoever that is, one better, and I'll say if I had a problem with the show, if I have a problem with any of these shows, it's that it's entirely performative. We're talking about a league that is owned by 32 different white men, a league that will not hire black coaches, a league that is consistently ensconced in white supremacy, but they're going to throw us Bad Bunny, they're going to throw us Kendrick, they're going to throw us Usher in the middle of the halftime show so we can all say, yeah, I don't, Colin who, Capper what? football. Like, that's what they're trying to do. And so when we have these cultural moments, yes, it's great. I love Bad Bunny. I loved Kendrick last year. I loved Usher 2 years ago. I loved Rihanna 3 years ago. That's all great. I would like to see a black coach, right?
I think Mike Tomlin of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who's a Hall of Fame coach, who's won, I don't know, 2 Super Bowls.
Or black
just got fired.
I mean, the ownership.
Okay, after 15 years, 18 years.
11 coaches were hired this cycle. Do you know how many of them were black? Absolutely zero. Do you know how many of them were black that were seriously considered for a position? One, Shieldhouse. That's not okay, right? And I would much rather have more black coaches in the NFL, and then go on, and then put Metallica up there for the halftime show. I would make that.
When I ask the NFL players I know who are African American men, you know what they tell me? They've made so much money as being athletes, they don't want that job. It's too hard. It's a tremendously difficult job. I've asked Lawrence Taylor more times than I can count. Lawrence, you were the greatest ever.
Right.
He goes, that's too much work.
Unfortunately, we don't have time
to
for
talk about
football
the
conversation, okay? We're going to lose.
Did he just make the argument that the job is too hard for black people to want to do? I hope that's not the argument he was making there, because that's what the hell it sounded like. So white people do the jobs that are hard now? Diablo. And this thing about this whole culture, like, and what's at the top, it changes, right? Like, sometimes what's at the top is a Hispanic. Sometimes it's a black person. Sometimes it's a white person. Like, who the F cares? The only people that care are bigots who care this much about it. I get so hurt by it. And the difference in this, like, so-called snowflakes on the left and the right, or whatever, whining and crying, is that that whining and crying, so-called, on the left is all in the hopes of treating people fairly. It's really what's foundationally the left and what they fight for. Is, hey, you know, we're all human, the same species. How about we start treating each other as such? If I can sum it up in a quick sentence, that's how I would put it. So I just can't agree when these idiots talk about, oh, well, both sides have their whining and crying or whatever it is. One side is purely, in my view, on the side of just evil, divisiveness, cruelty. The other side is literally the opposite, anti-evil, anti-fascist. Can we really say these are two sides of the same coin? Of course not. We wouldn't say that for anything. If that's the case, do we see God as one side of the other coin as the devil? They both have their views of the world, you know? It's a little bit of give and take. How about Hitler and his Nazis? Do we see them as two sides of the same coin with the Jews he brutally murdered and tormented? I mean, I think this both sides crap really drives me up a wall, because in my view, there's just no effing comparison. One party is clear as day, just cruel, indecent, fucked in the head individuals. The other side ain't perfect, of course. They piss me off all the damn time. But they ain't this. They ain't Republicans. Not even close. Not even in the same universe. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Please leave a like, subscribe. Really helps the channel. Really helps push the message out there. And I'll catch you in the next one.